Okay, hello everyone, welcome back to JLPT Training on YouTube, and today we've got another N5 grammar form. Now this is quite similar to the last grammar form we did, however it's slightly more specific in its meaning. So what we're covering today is X yori y no hou ga maru maru. So this means X is more or less something than Y. So let's take a look at how this one is constructed. Okay, so as you can see, I've actually got two sentences up here. N1 no hou ga N2 yori maru maru desu, and N2 yori N1 no hou ga maru maru desu. Now, there isn't much difference between these two. You can see we've got two N1 no hou ga. This is one clause, and N2 yori is another. So you can switch these round, they're interchangeable, and that's what we've got with two different sentences here. So just some information here, as you can see. It's the same sentence, it's just rearranged. It carries exactly the same meaning. This is just a breakdown of how this sentence is formed. So we've got N1 no hou ga. No hou ga is a compound particle. So what that means is it acts like a particle, but it's made up of a bit more. So ho is actually direction in Japanese. However, no hou ga is more way of N1, or as you can see what I've written on there, preference of N1. And of course, N2 yori is by comparison to N2. And if you want to see an explanation of that, you can just click the link at the bottom there to view the previous video where I covered that. Okay, so let's take a look at some examples. The first one we've got here is Umi yori yama no hou ga suki desu. Now, let's just do a quick breakdown before we actually translate this one. Okay, so the first part, obviously, as I said, we've covered this, it's in the previous video. In comparison to the sea. And as you can see, I've just got this vocabulary list up here if you don't know the words. So, umi is sea. And then, yama no hou ga, the way of the mountains. So obviously we wouldn't translate it like that in English, but literally that's what it means. And then suki desu is likable. Of course, the verb suki is likable, but of course we use it as to like in English. So the translation for this sentence would be, I prefer mountains to the sea. So the way of the mountains in comparison to the sea is likable. That's how we translate that one. And as I said, you can move these two separate clauses around and it still makes perfect sense. So yama no hou ga umi yori suki desu is exactly the same and it carries exactly the same meaning, and they're both correct. So let's take a look at another one. This time I'm not going to do a breakdown, but let's just read it out. Depato no shinamono yori super no shinamono no hou ga yasui desho. Okay, so I've got the vocabulary here. Department store and goods, so the items sold by the department store, and super is supermarket, and of course shinamono again, the items sold by the supermarket, and yasui is cheap. So in comparison to the items sold by the department store, the items sold by the supermarket are cheap, or things at the supermarket are cheaper than at the department store. And as you can see, I've just got the literal translation down there. And let's have a look at one more, slightly more difficult example. So, Kyoto eki ni iku toki wa bus de iku yori densha de iku hou ga hayai desu. So, Kyoto eki is Kyoto station, and iku is to go. And this toki here, you might not have come across this yet, I haven't covered it in any of my videos yet. However, this is sort of like when in English. So, of course, wa, the topic particle here. So, as for when I go to Kyoto station, bus de iku yori, going, in comparison to going by bus, densha de iku hou ga, the way of going by train is fast. So if you haven't worked out by yet, this is the translation. it's quicker to go by train than by bus when I go to Kyoto Station. And of course you can rearrange that to when I go to Kyoto Station, it's quicker to go by train than by bus. Okay, and here's just one last little bit of information before I finish this video. You can actually drop the yori. Now this is done when you don't need to have the comparison, so I'm younger or something like that, where it's obvious by context. So imagine this is a conversation going on between two people. Big Ben wa furui tatemono desu. Big Ben is a old building. And then so desu, demo Stonehenge no hou ga furui desu. As you can see, we've got no yori in this sentence because it's obvious that we're comparing it to Big Ben in this first sentence. So there's the translation for the first one, and here we've got the translation for the second one. So, right, but Stonehenge is older. And that's basically how you do that. So thanks for watching, and check out some of my other videos. If you have any questions about this grammar form, don't hesitate to ask me in the comments. And so yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching, everyone.